Tendai Mwari to our beloved and treasured listeners. Tendai Mwari, Tendai Mwari, Tendai Mwari. Tendai Mwari, Tendai Mwari, Tendai Mwari. Mwari mukurukuru, Mwari mukurukuru, Mwari mukurukuru. Kudzai muzimu mukuru, kudzai muzimu mukuru, kudzai muzimu mukuru. Tendai Mwari, Tendai Mwari, Tendai Mwari. Pray the word, regai mazwi andino taura nepungwa zemu mangu. Zinzikwene mimwari. May the words of our mouths and the meditation of our hearts be acceptable in thy sight, O Jah of our creation. Tendai Mwari, Tendai Mwari, Tendai Mwari. Mwari kumbure rai Africa. Ngai simuzire zitarayo. Izwai mitero yedu. Isumri yayo, itumri yako. Uyamwe ya kumburere. Uyamwe ya musbene. Isumri yayo, itumri yako. Tendai Mwari, Tendai Mwari, Tendai Mwari, Tendai Mwari. Jah, God bless Africa. Lift up the name of Africa on high. Hear our humble prayers, O Mwari, O Jah. We the family of Africa, we this family of Africa. Come, Great Spirit, come and bless us. Come, Great Spirits, come and be with us. We the family of Africa, we this family of Africa. Tendai Mwari, Tendai Mwari, Tendai Mwari, Tendai Tendai Mwari, royal elders, queens and kings, princesses and princes of great Mama Africa. I bring greetings as always in the most precious, powerful and bountiful name of our motherland, Al-Kebulan, Mama Africa, in the sacred spirits of our most gracious ancestors, and in a prayer for oneness, hope, and prosperity for all African people upon the face of Mother Earth. Rumbidzo Punamwari Africa, to the God of Africa be the glory. It is a joy to be an African, and a joy and a blessing to be on Galaxy Radio, ministering to the most important and the most beautiful and precious people on the planet, the sons and daughters of Africa. We say again, Rumbidzo Punamwari Africa, to the God of Africa be the glory. Giving thanks and praises, beloved brothers and sisters, unto Mwari Nyakusika, God the creator of the universe, the African God that reigns supreme through the spirits of Muzimu Mukuru, our great ancestors, and only and always through the spirits of Muzimu Mukuru, our great ancestors. This is Africa Speaks with Al-Kebulan on Galaxy Radio, and this is our special feature, Project 6264, raising African spirituality to a higher level. Reminding us, beloved brothers and sisters, this is our spiritual focus, reminding us, beloved brothers and sisters, to reaffirm the divine cycle of African life from the womb to the tomb and beyond. So let the circle be unbroken and let the healing begin. We reaffirm the divine cycle of African life by controlling every degree of that cycle of African life. We must own entirely and take complete control of every degree of the cycle of African life from the womb to the tomb and beyond. Only then, beloved brothers and sisters, will the circle be unbroken. And only then, beloved brothers and sisters, will the healing from the hundreds of years of the Ma'afa, the colossal destruction of African humanity, under the Europeans, and over 1,000 years, 1,500 years of African human destruction under the Arabs. Only, beloved brothers and sisters, by reaffirming, owning and reaffirming the cycle of African life, taking it under our entire control, will we begin to effect the healing that is desperately needed among our people, the healing of the African mind, the healing of the African soul, the healing of the African body. Hence, beloved brothers and sisters, we call the community to the order of Shumira, African spiritual worship on the first Umoja day of the month, to open the month, beloved brothers and sisters, with the right energies, resonating on the right frequency. We do that by coming before our communal shrine, open to African spirit. We come before our communal shrine and we bind ourselves together as one in mind, one in spirit, one in body. As we give thanks and praises unto the creator of the universe through the spirits of Muzimu Mukuru, our great ancestors, understanding that freedom begins with the freeing of the mind and the freeing of the soul. Thus, beloved brothers and sisters, we cease this crazy pursuit of chasing gods that are not our own. Thus, beloved brothers and sisters, we answer to the command of Baba Bookman Dotti, throwing away the image of the white man's God, which has so often brought us to tears, and listening only to the God of liberty, the God of Africa, that speaks to all our hearts. Today we hail and we honor the spirit of His Imperial Majesty, Emperor Haile Selassie I, as the Rastafari brethren and sistren prepare to gather tomorrow to celebrate the Earth Day of the Divine King, His Imperial Majesty. We join in solidarity with our brothers and sisters, the Rastafari movement around the world that has been in the vanguard of African liberation for decades. We hail and we honor Rastafari, the man and the movement, giving thanks and praises. Beloved sons and daughters of Africa, if I may, I want to pick up from where we left off last Sabbath. In our focus last Sabbath, our spiritual focus, we shared the definition of spirituality and expressed the importance, the indispensability of spirituality and the centrality of spirituality to African people. We said spirituality is a way of life steeped in reverence to a divine creator and creation and divine inner human cultivation. Divine inner human cultivation. We will come back to that in a moment, beloved brothers and sisters. We also emphasize that spirituality is the center and foundation of African culture, the core of African consciousness, and thus the essence of the African personality. Therefore, it is central and fundamental when we talk about Africanness, the African personality, African identity, that the core, the foundation and the center of the expression of the African personality is connection with spirit. It is the connection of the African spirit human spirit with the divine essence of being. Knowing in context, therefore, that we are divine beings. The cultivation, therefore, the inner cultivation we talk about, the purpose of that inner cultivation is to bring out the divine in us, to make ourselves Mwari-like. Mwari is the Shona name for the creator of the universe. Mwari is the supreme being. Mwari is the omnipotent one. So we are cultivating the essence of the creator that is in us through spirit. In cultivating the essence of our spiritual being, we are bringing out the essence of Ma'at. We are cultivating a Ma'atian personality, a personality that is disposed to truth, to justice, to righteousness as the foundation and pillars of the essence of being. It is Ma'at is the basis upon which we build character. We build relationships. We build families. We build communities. We build institutions. We build nations. We build civilizations grounded in the principles of Ma'at. The cultivation of the inner being, I say again, is the nurturing and the cultivation of the essence of Ma'at, so that Ma'at will be made manifest in our characters, in our personalities, in our relationships, in our institutions, in our families, beloved brothers and sisters. That is the foundation of being. We talk about an African way of life. We say, when we say African spirituality, it is an African way of life, or a way of life steeped in reverence to an African steeped in reverence to a divine creator and creation, an African way of life. And we talk about the cultivation of our inner beings according to our African culture. When we talk about the African way of life, it is the African culture. And as we define culture, culture is the collective personality of a people manifested in their natural and complete way of life. The collective personality of a people. When we are grounded in our culture, beloved brothers and sisters, we are bound together as one people. We give expression to the oneness of our being. We are not just individuals. We are a collective whole. We are a collective oneness, beloved brothers and sisters. We have a collective personality, which is the manifestation of our natural way of being. African spirituality therefore emphasizes that African people engage in a way of life that is submerged in praise and veneration of the Supreme Being and in the nurturing of the human soul according to the nature in which the Creator created us. We don't go outside of our nature. No, beloved brothers and sisters, we celebrate our nature of being. We cultivate our nature of being. We honor our nature of being. We find dignity and beauty in everything African. For it is the gift of the Creator. It is the gift of the divine. Therefore, the practice of African culture and its traditions is absolutely essential. It is crucial. Because in the words of Grand Master Teacher, Baba Yusuf Ben Yochanan, and he substituted the word religion for spirituality. Baba Yusuf Ben Yochanan says, religion is the deification of a people's culture. Therefore, religion empowers the people in whose culture the religion is expressed. Let me say that again. Religion is the deification of a people's culture. Therefore, religion empowers the people in whose culture, in whose collective personality, in other words, the religion is expressed. And this means, beloved brothers and sisters, that in the expression of spirituality, in the context of indigenous culture, a people see the Creator in their own image and in their own likeness. So that's a vital prerequisite for practicing African spirituality. We must see ourselves in the divine and the divine in ourselves. We are not practicing African spirituality if we see something else, we see an image other than ourselves. If we have to go outside of our indigenous culture in order to connect with the Supreme Being, then we are not practicing African spirituality. We are diminishing ourselves. In so doing, beloved brothers and sisters, consciously and subconsciously, we are always, and I have to repeat this, always viewing, always seeing divinity in ourselves and seeing ourselves in the divine. Thus, we are deifying ourselves rather than deifying someone else. Remember, religion is the deification. Spirituality is the deification of a people's culture. Therefore, spirituality empowers the people in whose culture the spiritual system is expressed. Thus we deify ourselves. And in context, the culture which naturally flows from the people is also being deified. Tendai Mwari. Beloved brothers and sisters, this expression of African culture and its traditions are consequently essential to our survival and our prosperity. When we are practicing our spiritual traditions, we are elevating ourselves all the time. Elevating ourselves all the time. When we are practicing religions outside of our African culture and our indigenous traditions, we are, as I said, beloved brothers and sisters, diminishing ourselves. On the contrary, but to practice our spiritual system, which is grounded in the culture of African people, is to move away from alien cultures. Is to see the Creator to see ourselves in the image of the Creator. And this, to do otherwise, is to see the divinity in the image of our enemies, our oppressors. And this is why another Grand Master Teacher, Baba Astra Kwesi, says to us, your enemy becomes your deity. Your enemy becomes your deity. That's when we are seeing divinity in the image of the enemy. This is further crystallized by the wisdom of Baba Osofo Kofitse Ahadzi of the Africania Renaissance Mission in Ghana, in an interview with Nana Ansa Kwao IV, he says, when we decide to call ourselves by some other name, and we call those names Christian names, we are borrowing other people's eyes to see God. These are his words. Let me say it again, beloved brothers and sisters. When we decide to call ourselves by some other name, and we call those names Christian names, we are borrowing other people's eyes to see God. To extend this metaphor, beloved brothers and sisters, this powerful analogy further, it is not only their eyes that we borrow. We borrow their ears to hear the Creator. We borrow their tongues to speak to the Creator. In effect, beloved brothers and sisters, we become blind, deaf, and dumb. In the spiritual sense, we become blind, deaf, and dumb. What do I mean by this? You can't see through someone else's eye. You can't hear through someone else's ears. You can't speak with someone else's tongue. You can only see with your own eyes, hear with your own ears, speak with your own tongue. So we render ourselves spiritually blind, spiritually deaf, and spiritually dumb when we are borrowing someone else's name and someone else's concept, whether it is a name we call upon the Creator in, or whether it is a name that we call ourselves. Beloved brothers and sisters, truly it has been said that no people have ever liberated themselves praying toward the God of their oppressors. This is because you cannot and will not destroy that which you worship, that which you venerate. In fact, beloved brothers and sisters, your very sense would be, your very instinct, your very intuition, our intuition would be to preserve the image, to preserve the tenets of these alien religions. Our instinct would be to submit ourselves to that which we worship. And so we will not have the instinct or the intuition to fight, to overcome, to dispose of, because we have become so dependent, so subdued by this false and alien concept. By definition, this is spiritually disempowering state of being. Indeed, beloved brothers and sisters, no people have ever liberated themselves praying to an alien God. It stands to reason that it is impossible to defeat a people whose image and likeness, in whose image and likeness we see the Creator. And I want to repeat, as our Vudan priest, Ogan Mbandaka, in commencing the Haitian Revolution, instructed us to throw away the image of the white man's God, which has so often brought us to tears, and listen to the God of liberty that speaks all our hearts. I want to round off today, beloved brothers and sisters, by focusing our thoughts on some words that have been attributed to His Imperial Majesty Emperor Haile Selassie I. But I have to say that it has been disputed whether they are his words. But I'm reading the words, and I'm reading the words, beloved brothers and sisters, because they are powerful words, because of the truth of the utterance itself, and understanding that to the minds of many of our people, they are the words of His Imperial Majesty Emperor Haile Selassie. But in any case, I want us to have Emperor Haile Selassie in our minds, in our thoughts, as this is the eve of his Earth Day. And we know that the Rastafari movement, which has brought so much inspiration to the African world, will be celebrating tomorrow, and we will be celebrating with them. The word sounds say, the temple of the Most High begins with the human body, which houses our life. Africa are in bondage today because they approach spirituality through religion provided by foreign invaders and conquerors. We must stop confusing religion with spirituality. Religion is a set of rules, regulations, rituals created by humans, which were supposed to help people to grow spiritually. Due to human imperfection, religion has become corrupt, political, divisive, and a tool for power struggle. Spirituality is not theology or ideology. It is simply a way of life, pure and original, as was given by the Most High. Spirituality is a network linking us to the Most High, the universe, and each other as the essence of our existence. It embodies our culture, true identity, nationhood, and destiny. A people without a nation they can really call their own is a people without a soul. I can tell you for a fact that those are the words of His Imperial Majesty Emperor Haile Selassie. A people without a nation they can really call their own is a people without a soul. Africa is our nation and is in spiritual and physical bondage because her leaders are turning to outside forces for solutions to African problems when everything Africa needs is within her. When African righteous people come together, the world will come together. This is our divine destiny. I'm going to leave it there for today. I will expand on this next Sabbath, beloved brothers and sisters. But in closing today, let us remind ourselves that all that is pure, precious, and divine